Hey guys, welcome to, well, what can only be described as a look back at the golden age of Quake 3 CTF. I'm joined by Dignitas R2K. I'm Dignitas NVC, and this is a video actually requested by our manager of Team Dignitas, Michael Odell. Some of you, of course, will remember him as, or know him rather, as ODEE. And we're going to take a look at, well, one of his, I guess, CTF matches in his prime, you would say, R2K.
I would say about that. It's about the same time I was playing in a different team, but I still know this was one of the best matches that they had during this time.
Yeah, it's actually, Odie was playing for a team called Knights of the Rounds, joined by Mank, Assi, Diehard, and Widge. I hope I'm pronouncing these correctly, I have no idea. And in this match, they're going up against IQS, also known as International Quake Squad, of ScanX, Viper 1, Furax, Tuco, and Proba. And I know you've got a lot to talk about the players, but you mentioned this was Savage League's Division 1 to me earlier on. Well, why don't you talk a little bit about Savage Leagues and what exactly that was before we actually jump into the demo?
Well, yeah, Savage Leagues. I mean, it started when Quake 3 came out. Well, it's been around even in Quake 2 and the Quake Leagues, but since that Quake 3 came out, it went on to that. We had some of the best players. This game was actually from the end of 2001. And it was it was quite a good battle, which you're going to see shortly. Some of the best players at the time. So I think, during this time I was only 15 actually, 15, 16 when this all started. So it was great fun for me being one of sort of awe-inspiring games to watch.
Yeah, I think when was it you first made your name as a player in the Quake scene? I mean, I sort of came into the Quake scene way, way late, I should say. I, of course, played Quake 3 back then, but I was stuck on Instagib on 1.16 point release, which by all definition made me a complete noob. But, my first sort of foray into sort of professional or even just competitive Quake scene was in Quake 4, whereas when I, of course, heard of you. But you mentioned your history goes back all the way into Quake 3 and you were 15 at the time. So, when did you first make your name for yourself?
Oh yeah, I mean since Quake 3 came out, the Quake 3 test when it was like Christmas '99, when it's fully released. So I was playing the test before Christmas '99, and then when it started, played in all the leagues, in the lower leagues really, like you would in a Sunday League player, in the Barry's World leagues, and some others, and kept playing and playing, kept getting better and better, and then got to a spot where I actually encountered Odie. He noticed me because I was actually robbing all of his flags. So he knew how good I was, so he asked me to join, and straight away I joined. I mean, it was a big step going from like Division 4, 3 to Division 1. That's what you want to sort of do in that era of Quake, and it was great fun. And I managed to keep up at the time, keep up for like 4 or 5 years in the upper divisions, play for the national team. So yeah, it was roughly around this time where Odie found me, and I'm quite appreciative because I'm still with him now.
Yeah, still going strong here in Team Dignitas. 2013. This match is, well, over 10 years old. That's pretty much as far as back as we're going. But yeah, well, let's not keep the game from going too long. Let's kick things off, shall we? So we're currently stuck on, I believe, 0.4 seconds in. So if you're ready to go, I'll count us down, Rams.
Yep.
All right, 3, 2.
Humiliation.
So yeah, like I said, this is Knights of the Round going up against International Quake Squad. We're watching a admin demo from Taylor, so we're not actually going to be able to switch and rotate between the players. But hopefully we can get a grip as to what's going on. But I've noted down a couple of the positions here for both teams as we're currently watching Diehard as he makes his way in on the attack. But we've got OD's playing flag defense. We've got, I believe it is Widge assisting him, defensive midfield.
Yep.
And then we've got on the attack Mank, Assi, and Diehard.
That is true. I mean, with like Odie and Widge were the powerhouse defenses of Knights of the Round at the time. And of course, Explicit EXP, or Explicit as we called him, and Assi, his full name was Acidbeard. You might know him if you've played Return to Castle Wolfenstein as well. They joined Lemmings. They were part of Lemmings, I think part of Four Kings as well, maybe, for a short time. But yeah, these guys were really hard players, really fast players in the game of CTF. So yeah, they were a really good attacking side.
Yeah, I've heard this game has quite the difference in play styles between the two teams, but we'll get into that later on. And the squad of international Quake Squad is Scan X, who's playing the flag defender role. We've got Furax, who's actually playing more of a middle role with the railgun, but strictly speaking, he's also a defensive player for them. And then they got Viper on a middle attacking role with Tuco and Proba purely attack.
The International Quake Squad were a very advanced squad for the time. They were way ahead of most teams, including us at around. They had so many great tactics, especially with the defensive power of Scanex and Furax as well. And then the ability of Tuco, who was one of the best flag runners in the actual game. Lucky enough, I actually played for International Quake Squad back in 2004, 2005. So, and I also played with a few of these guys as well. So they, I got enough respect for all these players right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I did briefly go through the demo before that. That's how I know some of these positions. And one thing I noticed with that team is they seem very sort of aim dominant. And the team of Knights of the Round, which we'll find out later, the team of ODEE, these guys are more based on getting in and getting out with the flag, not too bothered about, picking up the frags if they don't need to.
It's true. I mean, at the time as well, you got to remember this is the 2001. This is the time where actual cable internet, broadband were coming in to the UK. Most of it was around Europe about this time, but we were just starting to have some of the better connections of it. I mean, it was of course like 1 meg, 2 meg lines, but yeah, we were getting used to it at the time. You'll probably see a few warping from a few warping players, but of course, this was stability in the network and servers, and it was just getting used to it. But again, like I said, IQS at the time were way ahead of all these top teams that you see.
Yeah, at the moment we're just watching Mank with the flag. We're going to switch away. I think it was actually returned in the mix there. But this is Q3 CTF2. It's actually still played today in Quake Live. Not so much now that id Software have actually pulled the finger out, so to speak, and now we've got more CTF maps in the pool. But still, we do see it make its appearance. And even though Quake Live is typically 4v4, I'm actually more of a fan of the 5v5 setup. It does give you that extra player to work with. And like I mentioned earlier, Furax just playing that middle role with the railgun, dealing damage to the attackers coming across that middle point always makes it difficult. And we're going to watch Die Hard now for KR try and make his way back to middle. It's actually kind of smart to wait here for support, cross out later on, but it looks like, wow, the enemy team getting in.
He got indeed really stuck. But yeah, I mean, with the Americans do play the 4v4. They've always played the 4v4 ever since the start as well. We as the Europeans always played 5v5. I guess it was a lot more tougher, but it was a lot more faster at the same time. And again, this was an enduring game because actually in the Savage Leagues, actually, come to think of it, the games these days are what, 15 minutes, roughly. This
20
game,
minutes,
15-20 minutes. This game in the Savage League, the actual time limit was half an hour. Now,
yeah, that is endurance.
It's endurance and a half. I mean, you think about it, half an hour to play a game of this caliber. You have to keep on top form, you have to keep thinking, you have to keep your muscles warm. Everything about you need to keep as best as you can in this game. And, for these guys, I mean, ODEE actually was about 29, 30 playing this game, So he was playing with the younger guys that these guys were. It's unbelievable what he did in the past.
Yeah, and I mean, he's the flag defender as well. He's the one that has to hit his shots. There's no room for error. Of course, he does have support in the form of Wid, but if he's playing a defensive middle role, there's not always going to be in the flag room to assist with him. So ODEE has to make sure his rocket launcher's on it, or had to make sure, rather. We're talking in the present here a little bit. But watching Die Hard at the moment in this middle of the map. And I guess as well with this map, you talk about endurance and the 30-minute time limit, and this map in particular, there's literally no room for error. You lose one frag and this map could end, or one flag, sorry, this map could end 1-0.
I mean, unlike the Quake Live version that we've got now, this was practically the hardest map to get out of. There was three normal ways to get out, plus an extra way if you use rocket jumps. So, well, an extra 2 ways. So 5 ways to get out of the whole place if you know how to play it. So yeah, the way that the Quake Live map nowadays, it doesn't come nowhere near compared to this map. Or this version.
Yeah. I mean, even in Quake Live, if you're on that flag stand, you can actually do a cheeky jump on toward the little lantern and then just clip the corner to escape through the upper left or upper right exit. Whereas in here, I don't believe you can do that. You have to utilize the rocket jump. So if you are the attacking player for either team, whether you're Mank, Assy for Knights of the Round, or if you're Tuco and Prober for IQS, International Quake Squad, you're going to have to make sure when you do go into that flag, you have more HP than Mank does now, because 22 HP is a difficult HP amount to work with. There are 225s below him, but this isn't a situation I want to go into. And you can see here just spamming down these grenades. He's going to either wait for support. We did see his teammate go down there, so maybe he'll stick around here until he gets to restack and come back in, or maybe he'll just try and drop down to the 225s. But we have switched over to Viper, who has this flag pick up, and 27 HP. This is well, it's going to be tough. Let's say that machine gun damage can finish him off, but he will find this flag. But getting across this middle point is going to be a tough feat to match. But this is some brilliant shotgun work actually, and the teammates are supporting into that middle of the map. He's actually made it through, and we've also had the flag pickup come out for Knights of the Round as well. So we're going to see our first standoff of the match here, 7 minutes in.
Yeah, it was a great pickup by Viper. With only 22 health, he managed to get across and kill ODEE and Mank just on the middle platform as well, getting over. So it was fantastic play by him. And now this is where the defensive bit of the flags are. Every time you'll see like any flag person in CTF2, they'll always go to this room with the Mega, because there's only two ways you can get through. One, which you see here in the underwater path, and the other, of course, where you can go through the door.
Yeah, it's actually a brilliant place to defend. Sorry to interrupt you, but I guess the problem is that if the flag does get returned, it actually does have quite a way to get back to that, to capture it up. So there is a point that if that flag does get returned for the team of Knights of the Round, that they could see a re-pick up before he's able to capture it. We'll see.
Yeah, so he did have about 170 health, about 15 armor. Meanwhile, Viper has 181 health, 100 armor. So he's really stacked right now, and we see a lot of IQS just dropping into the base of Knights of the Round and trying to get. Here we go. We got one attack now on Acid. Oh, great rocket there onto Furax. So Acid's doing very well, but he's still got less armor right now, less than Viper right now. And Tuco coming through the actual waterways. We'll get a bit of damage, but no, Acid is still a bit too strong right now. And you can see this is non-stop action, obviously. This was, back in the day, this was all it was, in 2001 and so forth.
Yeah, and one of the things I particularly remember is the difference between OSP, which is what these players are playing on today, and CPMA, which is sort of, I would guess, the most recent and enhanced mod. The netcode was improved, and LG, railgun, machine gun, everything's so much more easier to hit. So just seeing some of these players hit the shots they do is going to be interesting enough. And there's going to be the first capture picked up on the return. That's going to make it 1-0 now here to Knights of the Round in just 9 minutes. And that is a winning score. I mentioned that earlier on, but watching Die Hard, he's got the flag moving out toward the middle. He's made it across, just 1 HP. There comes the frag, and the return will come in as well, I believe. Did you see who got that one?
Yeah, I believe it was Furax, but it was a bit unlucky again. He did bump into his teammates along the way, and it then, made him an easy pickings for that rail. So it was a bit of bad luck there by Die Hard. But again, yeah, Knights of the Round do lead 1-0, and of course we've still got at least over 20 minutes to go, so anything is possible.
Yeah, right now we're in the halfway mark if this is Quake Live, and things would start to get tense, but these players just got to make sure made sure they keep it up. You've seen a pickup now from Die Hard, 83 points of health. The plasma damage is insane. Back in Quake 3, still one of the strongest weapons in the game, but still also one of the most difficult ones to hit. It's a good fact to pick up, and now there comes the return. So you're going to respawn in back in base. And of course, Taylor did leave the demo, of course, on to follow power and follow flag pickups. So if we do see switches to flag pickups, it is to be expected.
Yeah, at the time, it was hard for any admin to keep following the action of where it is, So it was good that the Orange Smoothie team, that's what it stands for, OSP, they actually added the auto follow up and auto killer functions, because you couldn't not really keep up in CTF. Oh, that was a great rocket there, but you couldn't really keep up. MVC, this is, like I said, you're watching it now, and everyone else is watching it. You see how fast this action is. It's really crazy.
Yeah, talking of fast, Viper's got the flag now. It's a good shot on toward ODEE. Going to secure himself this 50 HP. Will he come straight across? Has he got teammates in middle to support? It looks like he has got one, but with just a machine gun, this is going to be very difficult. Down to 20 points of health, 8 points of health, 1 point of health. He needs to get the 50. He can't just drop to the flag. That's good stuff here, and that's going to tie things up 1-1.
We get immediate pickup here by Proba this time. He's picked up the armor out of the base, kills ODEE, sees 4 nice to the round players in the middle, goes into the water. Is he going to kill off Die Hard? No, he gets great support there by Viper, and will go through the actual tunnel.
A good thing and a bad thing, because whilst he goes through here, there's plenty of time for the other team to get into his base.
Yeah, but this is where the communications comes in, where you know, they'll be talking. Oh, that was unlucky there, but great support again by Scanex. Viper. Scanex is defending the base right now. Probo will take the Mega, and this will look to be a capture, I believe. He will rocket jump up, and it is a great turnaround. Great comeback here by IQS. 2-1.
Yeah, good stuff. It took them very quickly. 9 minutes was the first capture, and already we're at 2-1 in favour of the opposite team. We're going to see that player shut down. Flag returned. And a bit of a reset here as we watch the attackers stack up. One thing I want to mention is here on Q3, CTF2, usually the attackers will come back and take the defensive mega health in the base. Don't leave that to the defender, can utilise that. And then if you can pick up this red armour as well, where Mank is moving to, that'd be a brilliant place to attack with. But this is some good machine gun damage from Tuco, as he needs to remove that stack. And even if he goes down, he's done everything he needed to. And now Mank's attack shut down.
Yeah, it was very good play by Tuco. Of course, if you can't have the red armor, you might as well try and kill the person with the red armor that picked it up. You know, so it was a great play. Again, it's very awkward the spawns as well in this particular map. It was like you can spawn anywhere from middle to back in the mega health base, and you know it's awkward sometimes if you're an attacker, because once you find out that one of the opposite team has been killed and they spawn right behind you. It's that sort of saying, yep, he's here, go defend now, you know.
Yeah, meanwhile we got IC picking up the flag. He's going to be shut down, flags return. But it's interesting as you mentioned the spawn system, because if we just quickly bring up the scoreboard, you can see Furax currently sat on 78 kills now. Furax was the player I mentioned at the beginning, playing the middle role. He's been railing heavily to get that amount of frags, and I'm actually kind of surprised he managed to pick up 2 captures, because every time he kills a defender, they spawn in base. So they've obviously been very lucky with their flag pickups. There would have been a lot of defenders there to stop him.
So a bit of lag there by Acid as well. He's getting chased down by Furax. Furax will not let him go. He wanted that rail on Acid Beard and he got it. And we got Mank actually picking up the flag. Tries to get out. Doesn't get too far. So it's very heavily defensive right now for IQS. They are still attacking though. Proba, Tuco is still at it as well. Viper as well here. But you've got again Tuco having the flag at 1 health. Picks up the 25. Goes back in the base. Ooh, finds a Mank. And Mank will finish off the plasma. Probably, he did want. It's a good try by Tuco. He wanted that health really badly, but yeah, didn't succeed.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes even just going back on yourself, you can really confuse the defensive team, even if it's to go back just to dummy them, or if you legitimately have to go back to pick up a yellow or maybe 225 HP bubbles. The defensive team may have already moved out, in which case you can rotate and confuse the hell out of them, and sometimes find a different escape path. Watching Die Hard at the moment. R2K.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward. He had a 90 health. He went up to 125. I think he accidentally used a medikit that he picked up from the actual water tunnel, and yeah, it didn't work out very well as he got shut down right in the middle of the map. And then now he gets shut down again by Viper as well. So he's got to try and come back to it, refocus. Now he gets standing in the way of Furax, gets into the base. 2 of them now railing, so 2-on-1 situation is very difficult now. Here's helpful, Die Hard. It is, oh, great rocket there by Scanex though, predicting where he was going to jump. And now actually on the other side of the base, Tuco tries for the rocket jump. And he goes again, he misses that as well twice. And Tuco is just all over the place trying to confuse not just the opponent but himself.
Yeah, himself as well, but those are the kind of jumps you just can't miss. There could have been an easy capture en route though. He had so much health on armor. If he had made the first one, he might have actually been across middle, or at least 2 defenders down there. And we're going to see a pickup by Vibe. He's going to be shut down. I mean, we're seeing obviously a very middle heavy defense coming out from IQS with the frags are coming out from Furex. Do you kind of agree with that playstyle back in the days of Quake 3 OSP, or do you think that maybe there's just too much going on there? I mean, they are winning with it, but
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, after this game, and pretty much everybody looked at this demo and picked up that tactic. Not just for IQS, a few other teams did the same tactic as IQS did, is have one in main base and then one in the rail area. And, you know, by time, like, after this and a few other games, everyone took it as a normal tactic to have one in defense, one as a sweeper, the railer, the sweeper, and then 3 attack. So it was pretty much used for basically nearly every map, and not just CTF2.
when you're watching Tuco at the moment, he's managed to get the flag back to his base. He's got 42 and 15. He's going to have to wait till his base gets cleared before he moves in. You can see the frags on the upper left of the screen. Tuco's just waiting for his opportunity. He doesn't want to go in prematurely, so make sure he can capture it and that he can hear someone moving around. So just waiting for that opportune moment, R2K.
Yeah, now the crossover, I mean, Acid did have the flag, he did get killed, and then Widge actually picked it up as well. So this is a game now of patience for both sides, both flag carriers. They have to depend on their teammates now to try and creep in, do a lot of damage as best they can. Tuco actually does hear someone behind him and does run away, tries to go in and get the mega health. There is someone coming into railing, but he'll have a teammate, actually 2 teammates. And unfortunately, Tuco did get killed, but it gets picked up by Scanix. So great support by IQS there, and it is still opposite ends right now.
Yeah, this stalemate could theoretically go on for the next 10 minutes. This is the kind of map that would promote it and, you know, in many ways makes it more exciting on. Very tense situations, particularly for the players and also the fans back in the day. But we can see this position again utilized by Widge, just using those angles with the rocket launcher. This is some aggressive push in. Viper's going to go down to just, or put him down to just 2 HP. Surely this is going to be a frag. No, wow, picks up the frag on the Furex. This could be a frag. Needs to pick up the 50 HP. Why is he dropping on the... Oh my god. What happened? Wow.
I think he didn't notice his health. He was more concerned about just getting to the flag, not looking at his health. And yeah, 2 health, bang, straight onto the platform, and yeah, suicide. And yeah, IQS came in, took the flag back, and it was a massive mistake there. Really, I'm sure he didn't notice. He generally didn't notice his health. And, you know, it cost him there. So, still 2 on the score to IQS.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him in the butt, so to speak. Approaching the 10-minute remaining mark, Tuco just currently sat on the enemy flag, just railing out, not quite hitting anything. And the flag's going to come in. One of the important things with Quake Live is never drop a railgun. But with the netcode of OSP, and you mentioned the internet connections, how dominant was railgun back in the day in general? Not so much in middle, but I'm talking, you know, from an overall perspective.
It was very dominant. I mean, netcode. I mean, this was an earlier version of OSP, not the one that we had. So again, this was like a beta OSP. They were still making modifications, and at the time, the railgun was one of the most prolific weapons. But you would see lightning gun as well. Nowadays in Quake Live is used a lot more. Lightning gun wasn't used that much. It was mostly the railgun. And then a rocket launcher, and then we'd see plasma. Actually, plasma was doing very well, and then it was only lightning gun. But because lightning gun didn't have the true lightning thing that we see nowadays, you know, when it straightens up the lightning gun, didn't have that. It was more bendy in this OSP. So this was before they made the true lightning command.
See, that's interesting, because I still know a few top players today that play with sort of a bendy LG without true lightning set to 1. I wonder whether that's preference because they feel like they can aim better, or whether it's just old habits that they are used to, or they don't want to readjust to a straight lightning. I don't know.
I guess it's too... I mean, if you have true lightning, I mean, I think with old players, if you have true lightning off, yes, you can see the bend, you can see how it's coping on the server. But if you're on a bad server and you've got true lightning, you tend to just aim straight, not anticipating how bendy the lightning gun is on a bad server, on like a 100 ping or 200 ping server. You just feel that you gotta aim straight and hope that it hits with true lightning.
I mean, did players switch over to true lightning straight away, or did they then try and to adjust it based on their ping?
They played it whatever, really, to be honest. I mean, some of these players played without true lightning. They were just that good at the time. some of the IQS players did play without True Lightning. So I don't know what the Knights of the Round players did. Ooh, Acid tried for the jump. That didn't work. He had about 25 health, so it's a bit useless. But no, it depends on the player, depending on how they played. And we did actually get a pause now, mate.
Yeah, it looks like one of the players was lagging at the time. That's funny, we're talking about lag, and yeah, one of them are lagging at the time. But hopefully they can sort that out, or hopefully they did sort it out. I keep venturing as a commentator that has done Quake Live recently. I keep venturing into the present as if this is happening right now sometimes. But obviously, it's about as old as some of the people now playing Quake Live, I'm sure. In
Oh
fact,
yeah,
I know there's a player these days go by the name of Backstein, and I'm pretty sure he's under the age of 18, maybe even closer to 16. I could be wrong, but ODEE at the time was, you were saying, 29, 30, and playing at the, well, almost at the top level, maybe the top.
he was playing at top level. I mean, he captained the English side as well in the Savage Euro Cups. He was part of the UK national team as well. Most people don't believe this, you know, and don't think that he did. He's just a manager, but ODEE was, and you know, he was a great player. And he did so well for the national team, the England squad as well. And you know, the national team, as I go by, the UK squad, when it all joined together. So instead of having England, Wales, Scotland, we actually joined up and actually did compete as the UK. But there was one time in the Savage Euro Leagues where it was all separated.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great rail there, taken by Acid.
And this could actually get in the capture as well. We've seen it picked up on Widge after he was dropped down, and now going to move in toward the flag. This is going to tie things up 2-2. There's no contestation. Wow, brilliant stuff.
That was a great stop there, but Acid had the flag actually in the enemy base. Tuco dropped down, and then he with the flag and shot him. Acid shot him straight as he came down, and you know, it was a great rail and great pickup as well. So 2-all score, and we are 22 minutes into the game. 22 minutes 25 seconds. So still under 8 minutes.
Yeah, and I think for the first time there, just watching ODEE, he stacks up back on defense after a bit of a fight defending that flag to get the capture in. Viper's going to be shut down, the return coming in, and now we're going to see him spawn in, and you can see the railer there for Knights of the Round, dealing damage to him. Tuco picking up the flag now, and he'll be shut down on his escape. I'm just
Shut
taking
down by
a bit of a breather.
Yeah, shut down by ODEE straight away with the rail. Again, ODEE on form right now in this game, but you know, of course, we are 23 minutes in, and you know, if this game stays the way it is, at the time of the Savage Leagues, it goes into overtime. There was no draws. You either win or lose, and right now we are on course to looking. If one of these teams can't capture, we're looking to go into overtime.
How did overtimes work in Quake 3 exactly?
Overtimes were golden capture.
Oh, okay. Was it in like periods of 5 minutes, or did it just carry on until somebody capped? Like, I guess it just carried on.
It carried on. It carried on for some games did carry on for at least an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's how mental these league games were.
See a pickup from Mank.
And a pickup from Tuco as well. Mank dropped it. Tuco trying to get out, but you see, this is what I was trying to say, that during this time, frags weren't everything, as you can see from Tuco. Tuco grabbed the flag and he just jumps out. He doesn't even care what the other team was trying to do, trying to aim at him, trying to kill him. Yeah, he was just trying to get out with the flag and hope for the best that his teammates were in the middle. So this was like, you know, this was the main game of Quake 3 Arena at the time, and especially CTF.
Yeah, in some ways I actually kind of prefer the setting this offers, because in Quake Live, a typical, you know, high percentage accuracy from not the average player, but you know, the good player, let's say, is sort of 40 to 45% on the Lightning, and the same for Machine Gun. Back in OSP, I hear percentages of being sort of around the 30s to 33, and that is a significant difference. Definitely something you have to take into account, and in many ways, it really does slow down the CTF game in Quake Live compared to this.
Yeah, nowadays, I mean, when it got into the later stages, you would have seen a lot of TDM players coming to CTF, and basically they'd be put in defense because of the fact that they're good fraggers. ODEE and Widge, they weren't the best fraggers, but they knew how to defend. They knew positions, they knew how to time power-ups, armors. They knew then. Whereas defenders, like the TDM defenders, they would just frag, get told when power-ups were spawning and stuff like that. So they had to be told. Whereas, you know, like I said, great CTF defenders knew where to be positioned.
There's a funny story here, and I won't name and shame, but I of course played for the Quake Live UK TDM team a while ago, and there was a player there. Let's just say he's old school and he's very good at the game. But I remember playing OSP CA5 or OSP DM5. It would have been CA5. What am I on about? OSP DM5, and I had to time Mega Health for him. I had to time Quad for the team, and yeah, some of these old players were brilliant fraggers and just good at getting the job done. But back in the day, there was also coaches, which is something we haven't really touched upon. Were coaches allowed in this league, or did that make his appearance in CPMA? Am I thinking too early now?
No, there were coaches, but you were thinking too early because this was still a beta OSP, so they didn't actually add the coaches in.
Wow.
So this was pure thinking, pure tactics from all the teams. Just, you know, communicating with each other using. Well, we didn't use we didn't use Ventura. We used something called Roger Wilco.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
if you know.
Roger Wilco. Wow.
Yeah, this was at the time. Roger Wilco. I think there was a team speaker as well, but Roger Wilco was it was like the Ventrilo of the time.
There's a certain noise. I've forgotten what it is now, but it's very distinct for when someone spoke.
It was yeah, I remember. It was the it was
I'll have
when
to play it on the
walkie. It was the walkie-talkie one. It's like the army walkie-talkie. Over.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what we had as well. And then actually Odie got annoyed by it and told us to turn it off. He started shouting. So you know, it was quite fun to use Roger Wilco, but yeah, that soundbite really did get annoying.
Indeed. Watching Tuco at the moment anyway, as he makes his way into middle. We haven't watched too many players as they go to pick up that red armor. Even the medkit, which is something we haven't talked about. The medkit's in those water tunnels. You can pick it up and use it. It gives you an additional 100 HP at any point in the game. So it can be quite a useful tool when you pick up the flag. But obviously we're watching this admin demo, so we didn't get to watch the build-up of these attackers. We only have to hope they have them in hand when we switch on to them. Prober now making his way into the base. He's got the railgun. I wonder if he's got an attacker coming in on upper route to maybe come in and pick up the flag. Yes, he has. That's actually a brilliant attack coming in from the IQS guys. Yeah, because he's going to switch over to Viper now. Picked up the flag. Going to be shut down by a fantastic grenade. And then comes the return.
And that was a fantastic grenade by Odie as well, coming straight from the left side of the base and just jumping and shooting. It was just awesome play there. But I mean, we're coming up to 28 minutes, 2 minutes left, and you can see both these sides really trying to push as hard as they can. But at the same time, they're really trying to defend as hard as they can as well. So the balance is phenomenal.
Yeah, the question is, do you want to send people in to get the flag now, or do you want to force it to overtime and recuperate yourselves in base, pick up some armor, and then just make a fuller effort when the time suits you? Or maybe they just want to continue playing as they're playing. I don't know. Watching Die Hard at the moment as he comes in. He's surely going to be shut down. He's not going to be able to hold on it. Just 1 HP. He's got support, but that's just again good defensive work coming out from the team.
It's fantastic. And here we go. Mank has the flag. He tries to drop down plasma. He gets shut down straight away by ScanX. It's just back and forth. I mean, when I look back at this now, the old star, I really miss it. I mean,
well, let's face it. There's no game like this exact sort of experience today. We got Quake Live, but like you said, the difference in the gameplay is just so apparent.
It is. It's too apparent, unfortunately. I mean, this game was pretty enduring at the time. You know, you had 20-minute games, half-an-hour games. You kept going back and forth. You might have the odd 1 or 2 pauses, but other than that, it was just battling. I mean, we say games like Counter-Strike, you get killed, you have to wait for a next round. You get killed in this, you get back into the game. It was just that quick. You know, if compared to Shoot Mania as well, although Shoot Mania is very quick, you still had to wait during rounds.
I mean, obviously we had the CTS, and this is going off topic a little bit, but they changed the format of Counter-Strike to make it suitable for TV or whatever medium you want to look at it. But when we look at Quake Live, everything's been condensed. Duel's no longer 15 minutes, it's 10 minutes. CTF's 20 minutes, not 30 minutes. Do you think it's because it suits sort of the esports and competitive scene a lot more, or do you just think it was changed because people wanted to play a shorter time limit?
It was changed. I think it was just changed because of the feedback they got during in the forums and everybody else. 15-minute games, they were long, especially in duels. Dueling in Quake 3 were 15-minute long games. Now you see it's 10 minutes in Quake Live. CTF was still 20. I mean, it was half an hour. It was changed to 20 minutes during 2001, 2002. So nothing's changed there really for CTF. I think it applies more to the dueling because that was changed. That was shortened 5 minutes. I think it was quite a bit of a. It was a bit bad, really, in my opinion, because 15-minute games it showed the endurance of the players. Right now, it's short. It's just shorter. For
I
me
guess it
personally,
kind of gives like the player a chance to come back into the game. Whereas if you 10-minute game, maybe you can probably lose it within that 10 minutes, and that's it.
Exactly. But actually, getting back to this, we are into overtime. There was no capture at all, and yeah, this is on a golden capture right now. So first team to capture the flag wins the game, and you know this is where it gets tense. There was no draws in Savage League. You only win, we only lose, and it comes down to this, Siggy.
Yeah, all or nothing. I'm just going to have a quick look at the scoreboard at the moment. Wow, look at the number difference here. Everybody on that blue team of International Quake Squad is above 100, with the exception of Tuco. Whereas the only person there for Knights of the Round is actually ODEE, the flag defender. 150 sat up top there. But the difference in flags is phenomenal when you consider this is 2-2. You just looking at those numbers, you'd assume that the team of International Quake Squad would be stomping it. But no.
Now again, frags don't always mean mean anything in CTF. It's always about defense and offense, and you know the way that, to be honest, IQS were and still are a fantastic side if you put them back in into this sort of fixture. They were way ahead of everyone at the time. They had so many great tactical plans, but Knights of the Round, they were ones that just said, we ain't giving up, we don't care. We're just going to keep playing until we pass out, or we win or until you pass out. And this was the fighting tradition of Knights of the Round, and this is what I picked up from ODEE and the team as well when I joined them back in 2002. So it's still there in Team Dignitas as well. Just that sort of feedback, that sort of motion.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting to look at. It'd be nice to have the full demo, multi-pov demo, where you can look at just how they're managing to keep it this close. Because you don't, like I said earlier, you don't really see it in Quake Live. The team with a more dominant aim usually comes out on top because the percentages just across the board were higher. But we're currently watching Die Hard at the moment, as he looks to sack up in base a little bit. Maybe he's syncing up the timer there for the yellow armor against maybe something in the middle. I'm not sure. That's sometimes what you see the attackers do, so they can pretty much run a route around the map. But it looks like he's not going for the red. Maybe that's been picked up, instead just moving straight into the base. He's got these two yellows. He's got 100 HP. He's got no support though, brilliant in mid-air, but he's all on his own. Even if he gets out of it here, it's unlikely to get across the middle. And yeah, no, good idea with all that health and armor, but needed an extra player with him.
Yeah, he got shut down really quick, but Acid's out here quick, trying to get out as best he can, but Scanix will shut him down. But yeah, he did try to wait as best he can. He was the only one with armor, and unfortunately his teammates were too slow. Meanwhile, we see ODEE there shut down one of the players from IQS and Tuco as well. So ODEE's really doing his best right now to defend. Now we're into 34 minutes of the game. This is 4 minutes into overtime. It is really enduring for these players.
Yeah, and unlike Quake Live, where every single minute the respawn delay increases by 1, thereby changing the way you play the game, these players just continuing to play the same way. They have to mix things up of their own accord. They have to find an exploit, perhaps, in that opponent's team's strategy to try and break and get out that frag. So things are really raw and straight to the point. It seems watching Viper now as he tries to, I don't know, grenade jump, or maybe he was just trying to flick grenade back down toward the lower bounce pad, but he has gone in toward this enemy base, but no one to support him whatsoever. And look at the defense again. ODEE up top. ODEE on bottom actually was Widge up top. So really just not giving him an option. Basically saying, if you want to get the flag, you need to come in with 3 people, because 2 of us are going to be able to stop you. But as I said, Prober's got out here, Rams. Yeah,
Prober did the jump that we are saying, one of the jumps with the rocket jump. He has got out, but he's on 15 health. He's getting shut down. He gets railed by ODEE from across the map. And ODEE will return the flag as well. So Unlucky for Proba, but great defense again by Knights of the Round. And it's back and forth right now. We are into 35 minutes. Just going past. Diehard has the flag, trying to get out the back way. IQS, one of the players, does miss a rail. Miss it this time. That would be Furax. He gets the rail onto Diehard. But again, Diehard spawns in the middle, straight into it, and gets killed again by Diehard. Meanwhile, Acidbeard. Ooh, how frantic is this?
Yeah, back and forth as we're back onto Assy in the middle. He's trying to deal some damage toward Tuco. Winner will pick up the red armor. Just 20 points of health. I would have perhaps considered going through the ward here, looking for that med kit, but instead just going to dive through the middle. Red armor, unfortunately, going to be wasted, but it was a tough situation. And he knows now that's going to be up in 25 seconds, so if he can stay alive or at least recuperate himself, he can drop back down for that later on. Again, something it's quite difficult to mention in this demo, but when we see it, we can pick up on it. But, still on Assy as he sets up this next attack.
But you can see how difficult, even for the admin, is to try and pick up. I mean, even though he's got the auto-follow commands, even if he was trying to view manually all the players, he'd still have a hard time because there's just action all over the place. This is how hard, mad and frantic Quake 3 CTF was back in the day. Just action everywhere, non-stop. There was nothing like it at all.
Yep. There you go, Assy with the flag, going to be shut down straight away. It's going to get returned. Seeing a red picked up, but meanwhile Viper here with the flag again on his own. He has got support coming in low, but I think that player only had a railgun. They're going to be able to kill two of them in time. Flag's return. Meanwhile, on Mank now trying to get the job done with the shotgun, but the two defenders there going to be able to keep him at bay for the time being. The return comes in now back onto Assy with the flag. Back and forth still. R2K as he'll be shut down and reset again.
Yeah, and we are coming to 37 minutes now. 8 minutes overtime. Well, 7 minutes overtime. Sorry, I should just say. But wow, just we're still going and going. I don't know how these guys had the energy at the time, and it's just remarkable to see that these sort of games, and you compare it to now, it's unreal.
I'm just going to quickly bring up the scoreboard again. 219 frags now for Furex on that middle play. Maybe the Knights of the Round team are just having difficulty getting three players across here with enough HP to attack together. That's why we're seeing one by one. The same is so for the team of IQS, but we're seeing Diehard now coming across middle. He's got support as well. 100 HP, 35 armor. He's made it across the middle. Down low, this could be a capture here, R2K.
It could be, but both flags are been taken. One from IQS, I'm not sure who that is currently, but we see here Diehard, he will pick up the mega health at 185.94. He's very stacked right now and will stay in this room now. He will have a lot of defense from Widge and ODEE. So, flag is actually returned by Mank, and this is the chance that the Knights of the Round need. But Viper has the flag. He actually does get it back though. Diehard will get the flag back. He picks up the armor. He does the rocket jump and will capture. And there you have it. The win goes to Knights of the Round.
Final score 3-2. ODEE up top, you would expect for the flag defender, but Furax there, despite hitting the amount he did, top in the scoreboard, isn't going to be able to do enough for his team. That was 3-2 for ODEE's team. And maybe we'll have to check out a video of ODEE losing sometime as well, but I have a feeling that wouldn't have happened too much if he can beat a team that hits so much like IQS did. We definitely know how to play Quake 3 CTF back in the days of OSP R2K.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was great play by IQS. Again, IQS were ahead of everybody at the time. They had tactics nobody ever thought of, like that one there of having the railer in the middle. Nobody else picked that up until they did see this demo and thought, we're going to do that as well. And yeah, everyone did pick up that tactic. Meanwhile, KR, they had the fighting spirit. They kept on pushing even without having a middle railer. They kept pushing 3 players in there, and it paid off most times. And as you saw there, it really paid off, and they managed to get the win with 38 minutes of overtime. Probably one of the most enduring CTF matches back in 2001 in the Savage Leagues you'll ever see.
Yeah, ridiculous stuff. But guys, if you have enjoyed this video, we're no idea where we're going to be posting it yet. So if you're watching on YouTube or maybe Alienware Arena, wherever it happens to be, if there's a comment section and you'd like to see some demos from back in the day, maybe not even just ODEE's demos from Knights of the Round, but perhaps some of R2K's or other players, just let us know and we'll perhaps have a look back and get it done again. But R2K, I want to thank you for joining me. I couldn't have done it without you, quite honestly. You are the Quake Encyclopedia, I think,
I'm
as
just an
far as
old
things go.
person. I'm just an old person. That's all it is
Yeah.
nowadays. I feel, back at this, like I said, 2001, 16 years old, watching these guys play. Now, now I'm 27. It's like, oh God, I'm just so old.
I mean,
So,
you don't play too much Quake these days, but I do see you on Trackmania.
oh yeah, it's quite smart. Well, I'm still playing Shoot Me. I still play a bit of Quake some here and there when I can. But no, I mean, if you were to compare, if any FPS game that you would say to me, what was your best? This was it.
Yeah, I think although I spent most of my time playing Instagib in Quake 3, I probably in total spent the most time on Quake 3 in general, and probably had the most fun with it as well. There's nothing quite like getting 200 stack when I did switch to all weapons, and then just unleashing hell upon whoever it happened to be, and just hearing those something about the LG hit sound as well. Probably why I'm such a aim heavy player in Quake Live is just I don't know. I just love the hit sounds in that game. It's just therapeutic, I think. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in, and I guess we'll catch you hopefully very soon. Let us know.
Thanks, guys.